Put your hand up if you came here today for animals. Obviously. Oh, that's a bit better, right? Yeah, obviously. Thank you. Why? Why are you here for animals? Why? Why? It's not an easy question to answer, is it? Why? Why animals? Now, it's difficult to answer that question easily. It's difficult to answer that question confidently, as some of you are now realizing. Because we see it as self-evident, don't we? We know. But then trying to explain it simply is pretty difficult. It's not as easy as it seems to answer the question, why do we do what we do for animals? Why are animals important to us? And here, I think, is where we have a problem. We know what we know. We know kind of why we do what we do. We have it inside us. It's a drive that we can't hold back. We have to get out and speak up for them. We know that. We know what happens to animals is wrong. But if we don't know exactly why it's wrong, if we don't know exactly why we stand for animals, how can we expect anyone else to stand here with us? We spend so much time arguing with people about animals, don't we? Right? Think about all the excuses about plants and pain, cavemen diets, protein, avocados, almonds, and the bees. And don't get me wrong, it's entertaining. I mean, who doesn't enjoy it when a grown-ass man points to his canines and says, I'm an apex predator because of these, I'm an alpha? It's hilarious, right? No doubt about it. It's hilarious. It's comedy gold. Every time. It never gets old. But if people are saying things like that, it's a sign that we're probably not doing our jobs properly as activists. We haven't spent enough time raising the status of animals to at least the same status that people give to their pet animals like dogs and cats. Because people see their pet animals, the animals they have in their homes, they see them as people. And they see most other animals as things. There's a huge division here, a huge divide. It's our job to undo that nonsense and make people realize that a farmed animal, whether they be chicken, cow, pig, or any other animal, is just as much a person as the animal that they love and the animal that they would die for, the animal they give a name, the animal that they acknowledge as a person. And if we succeed in that, in shifting someone's mind from they're just things, they're just here for me to eat, to, well damn, I never saw it like that before. They're also people like my dog Bruno. If we make that shift, it's unlikely we're ever gonna hear, but don't plants have feelings, when we suggest that maybe they don't stab animals in the throat. If we make that connection. Think about it this way. If Piers Morgan had a dog rescuer on his show, do you think he'd be asking them if they eat avocados and almonds? No, because he, like most other people, he sees dogs as having a higher status in our society. He sees dogs as members of our communities, as a kind of people. He's acknowledged that. That's where we need all animals to be. We need people to realize that if you give a cow, a pig, or a chicken the chance to express themselves, you'll learn they're just as much of an individual as any dog or cat. They're capable of a wide range of emotions, including joy and sadness, and they're capable of experiencing a wide range of suffering and pain. And when you acknowledge that, the sheer scale and severity of what we do to them, there are no words to describe the horror. This is a war, as Mel and Steve were saying earlier, but I don't think it's a war that's going to be won by brute strength alone. Because the ones we need to fight, they're not our enemies. They're people just like you and me. And a lot of the time, they're good people doing bad things. And good people doing bad things can be reasoned with. We're fighting against decades of propaganda and misinformation passed down from generation to generation, supported by lies, funneled into society by the meat, dairy, egg industries, and all the other animal industries, And they're paid stooges in popular culture like Joe Rogan, Piers Morgan, and various other industry puppets. The general public isn't evil. They've been lied to, manipulated, and made a mockery of. And it's our job to expose that carefully, trying along the way not to make ourselves their enemies, because we aren't their enemies. We need to create a monumental shift in the collective opinion of how farmed animals should be seen in society. And that all starts with a conversation. Your conversations that you have with people is where it begins. And you have these opportunities every single day. Whether you do it online or you do it in person, whether you work with We the Free or one of the other many animal rights groups, wherever you choose to do it, just do it. Because if you don't do it, if you don't have this common goal of shifting the mindset in that direction, and if you don't fight for it with us, you change nothing. And if you change nothing, nothing will ever change for animals. Their hell continues. So I've seen some of you guys today, I've seen some tears today. I've seen some crying today. And I just wanted to say one more thing before we go. Tears serve a very important purpose, okay? They ease your pain. They ease your suffering, and that's important. So it's important to cry. But they don't do anything for animals. There is a very big difference between sympathy and empathy. Sympathy is great in small amounts. Let yourself feel it, sympathize, cry. But empathy is what helps them. Action is what helps them. I see the person in you, and that's why I'm going to fight for you. That's empathy. Sympathy is, I feel bad for you, so I'm going to cry for you. Helps you, doesn't help them. So today is a day for mourning. It's a day for tears. Don't feel guilty about it. Let it go. And there's going to be more days like that in the future. And it's fine. But cry today and fight tomorrow. Thank you for listening.
And if you want to help me with my vegan and animal rights work, check out the David Rams Patreon and YouTube teams in the description.